the American dream. To his last breath, he'll always be a soldier.
Heard on great radio stations all across America. It's the National Defense with Randy Miller and Jerry Newberry.
The National Defense is made possible by Ford. Go further. By the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. By VSP. For more information on how VSP can help you and your corrective vision needs, visit VSP.com. By the Wounded Warrior Project. Serving those who've sacrificed for over 15 years. Online at woundedwarriorproject.org. By Gillette On Demand. Get Gillette quality blades delivered directly to your door with Gillette On Demand. Learn more at GilletteOnDemand.com. By Morgan Stanley. Discover how they can help you achieve your long-term financial goals at MorganStanley.com. By Farmers Insurance. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at Farmers.com. By Gorilla Glue, makers of Gorilla Tape for the toughest jobs on planet Earth. And by Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. It goes on clear and keeps you fresh all day, and it doesn't leave white marks on your shirt.
Hey, welcome into the National Defense. It's Randy Miller and Jerry Newberry. And Jerry, as always, our dedication.
Hey, this show's for you, the men and women serving in our military. It's for the millions of veterans out there, and it's for all your families. We're here for you. We love you. God bless you.
And Jerry, this is great because when's the last time we had a hotshot jet pilot on the phone?
Well,
it's been a while.
And not long enough, actually. Yeah. Because those you know how they are, Randy.
I know.
You know how they are.
Exactly.
Me. I'm so cool, and I'm a hotshot pilot. That's usually the interview.
Well, and every once in a while, we'll get one that says, you know what? I'm the ultimate man.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that's what our guest is going to say.
Otis Hooper is with us. Otis, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Well, I mean, obviously not as good as you. I mean, listen.
Man.
Otis, he's a U.S. Air Force pilot. He's also in the Georgia State EPLO. And now what is that?
So I'm in the Air Force Reserves now. I just came out of the cockpit, and I'm an EPLO. So that's an Emergency Preparedness Liaison Officer.
Gotcha.
So basically, I represent the Air Force when the state of Georgia gets hit by a hurricane, tornado, a flood, any kind of disaster, man-made or natural.
Yeah.
And I go in and I assist FEMA, and I help them translate what they think they need from the military into what we really can provide.
So, Randy.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, that part of what I do on the show is to interpret the military jargon.
Jargon, right.
So, in other words, right. Otis is a has-been, washed-up pilot.
That's not right.
Flying a desk.
That's not right.
Well, you know what's pretty cool is my pilot job allowed me to transition into this. So about a year and a half ago, I was deployed down to the Virgin Islands during Hurricane Maria and Irma.
Oh wow!
And I was deployed as a pilot to help do some planning and get all the rescue operations moving quickly and help the island and its people recover. So and I learned about this job through that.
Seriously, what'd you fly? I see you're an airlift pilot. So
I am. So I flew the VIP airlift mission. So I flew a C-40 Boeing business jet, also a Gulfstream, which is like a private jet for VIPs, Air Force VIPs, and also members of Congress, Senate, the First Lady.
Wow.
White House staff. So I did that for about 12 years.
When's the book coming out?
Man.
I don't know. Everybody always asks me about that.
Yeah.
And then prior to that, I flew tankers, which is a KC-135. We transfer gas to other airplanes, and then they peel off and they go do their mission.
Yeah.
So it's been an exciting career.
Wow. Sounds like it. That's very cool, man. And thanks for your service.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very, very cool. And the other aspect of Otis Hooper is that, in 2016, yes. I think it was, top 3 in Men's Health Ultimate Man contest.
So that's like push-ups and pull-ups and running forever. What is that, Otis?
Well, it was called the Men's Health Ultimate Guy contest, and it was really a search for a guy in America that kind of had a good balance of fitness, professional career, family, and trying to have a holistic approach and also giving back to the community. And so I have 4 boys, and my kids encouraged me to apply for it. I applied. I was one of the thousands that applied. They whittled it down to 100 and then 10, and then I made the top 3, and Men's Health flew me out to New York to shoot for the magazine, and they featured me and the family in the magazine.
Well, wow.
That's cool.
See, where I come from, back where I grew up in Detroit, my nickname was UG, and I was known as the ultimate guy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. That was his name. It was Ugg, because that's what people said when they saw Jerry. It was just Ugg.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Otis, and here's the other thing, that we were going to tie it all together here, because Gillette is a brand new sponsor of our program.
And he's been using Gillette products since he was like 15 or 16, Otis?
Yeah.
16 years old, they sent me a razor for my 16th birthday.
By that time, this guy had already been shaving for about 10 years. He started when he was 6.
The ultimate guy, of course.
That's right.
He was born
Quite
with
the
whiskers.
opposite. I didn't get a chance to use that razor until I went off to the Air Force Academy 2 years later. So that was the first time I shaved the caterpillar mustache I had rocking. I shaved my head to go into basic training.
You're an academy graduate. Wow, man, really?
Yes, sir.
Seriously, it's
Wow.
seriously impressive. Yeah.
Thank you.
You want to tell him you were a screaming eagle? Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, he
Go ahead. That's fine.
He doesn't know what that is. he flew over us.
Right, exactly.
So your nickname was not UB for the ultimate beard when you were young?
What was your call sign or your name?
Well, my call, in the airlift community, we don't go by call sign so much as a fighter community. So my call sign, my nickname is Hoop, which is pretty easy to figure out how I got to Hoop.
Hoop.
Yep.
Gesundheit.
That's the same kind of maneuver you have to have when you fly with the Blue Angels. It's called the hook maneuver.
That's right. So you don't pass out.
Exactly. Hey, so let's talk about Gillette for a little bit, because here's the other part of this, is that they are getting ready to launch this new product, the Hydra Gels. The Hydra Gels. And the cool thing they're doing for the military in this is that they've got Operation Homefront. Now, we've had Operation Homefront on the show several times.
Yeah.
But they're going to do a cool thing. They're going to donate, every 2 products sold, Gillette will donate 1 to Operation Homefront, and up to, is that?
The estimated donation.
Estimate $2.5 million worth of product.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, and you're gonna be probably the spokesperson for that.
I'll bet.
They're coming to your house, right, to shoot video for commercials?
That's right. They're coming here this weekend to shoot with me and my kids and the boys. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do.
Otis is going to get naked.
We're excited about it.
Otis is going to get naked and start shaving in the shower, and they're filming it.
Well, I think it's a great initiative, and I've deployed multiple times in combat, 8 times in combat, twice now for my current job, which is to help in natural disasters. Once in Virgin Islands, and then another time out in the Pacific Ocean.
Well,
so anytime we can get any type of help or products like this that just helps us go faster, higher and faster, it's always awesome.
Man, you've done some good work
Yeah.
and continuing to do so. That's great. Great stuff.
You're in Georgia, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Just outside of Atlanta, Marietta, Georgia.
What about Alabama? Did you get over there at all, or?
I did not. You mean just with the recent tornadoes they just had?
Right.
No. So there's 88 of us in the Air Force, 1 per state. So and then some states have multiple EPLOs. So there is an Alabama EPLO. So whenever any kind of emergency happens like that, they're immediately activated and they go into action. So we all have the same training, but they may call me in to come in and help them out and support in any way that I can. But it is terrible what happened a couple days ago.
Sure was. And what you're doing is very important, you and your colleagues. So
I have never heard. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Oh, have you? Yeah. What a cool. I mean, it's a great thing for you to do, but also what a cool job. You know?
Yeah.
It really, really is, and it's one of the best kept secrets in the Air Force. Most of us don't know about it, but It's normally reserved for somebody that's kind of been around the block and knows all of the capabilities that the military can provide and can provide quick reach back to provide assistance whenever needed. So I'm really fortunate to be in this role.
Unless you're a pilot, no one knows what you do in the Air Force unless you're a pilot.
Is that right?
There is some truth to that.
Well, Otis, listen, man, thank you. I know you've got to go somewhere and shave, so we won't keep you.
Do your boys shave yet?
Yeah, one of them does. I have a 16-year-old, a 15, 11, and a 4-year-old.
So the 4-year-old is...
He shaves me occasionally. Shaves my head. I got a bald head. I just went clean a couple of years ago. He loves it. He loves to shave my head with a Mach 3. So.
Oh man. Well, thank you, man. We're really a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for everything you're doing, and hope the shoot goes well. And
thank you.
And hopefully, maybe we can talk to you again sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely. We'd love to, guys. You guys enjoy it.
Thank you, Otis. We'll be right back with the National Defense right after this word from Farmers Insurance. When you're dealing with life's ups and downs, it helps to know the ins and outs of insurance. Farmers Insurance has been sharing practical insurance knowledge for more than 89 years. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
With the active duty sweat protection of Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, you can focus on looking your best. From your dress blues to your ACUs. From 0500 to the next, Gillette's 48-hour sweat and odor protection has got your 6 all day long, keeping you fresh and ready for action. Gillette goes on clear and doesn't leave white marks, so you always pass inspection with flying colors. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, tough on sweat and as ready for action as you are.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Chad, go.
I know the F-150 kicks butt and takes names.
Like how the high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy F-150 thrashes the competition with best-in-class towing and torque?
Totally saw that coming.
Chad, how do you know so much about F-150 beating the competition?
I drive the competition.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. The Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Best-in-class claims with properly configured vehicles. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVWR based on Ford segmentation.
Introducing new life-proof, slip-resistant wood-look porcelain tile from the Home Depot. Starting at just $199 a square foot, it's 50% more slip-resistant than ordinary tile. It's waterproof, stain-proof, scratch-resistant, and works indoors or out. Step confidently in your kitchen, bathroom, patio, or any area of your home with new life-proof, slip-resistant porcelain tile. Just $199 a square foot. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Selection varies by store. Slip resistance based on tiles that meet a DCOF less than or equal to 0.42.
Gillette takes great pride in offering the right razor for every kind of face. Now you can get the right razor for your grooming needs when you need it with Gillette On Demand and have quality blades delivered right to your door. Subscribe to Gillette On Demand today and take $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout. Enjoy free shipping, hassle-free billing, and you can change or cancel anytime. Visit online at GilletteOnDemand.com and remember, get $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout. This portion of the National Defense is brought to you by Gorilla Glue, the makers of Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape has a tough, reinforced backing and is made with double-thick adhesive that grips to smooth, rough, and uneven surfaces. With a weather-resistant shell, Gorilla Tape can be used both indoors and out, which is perfect for applications in the field, including duck blinds, tree stands, and tent repairs. Gorilla Tape and Gorilla Glue for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
We're standing guard with the truth. The National Defense.
Welcome back to the National Defense. It's Randy Miller, and it's time for another Morgan Stanley Money Brief. And back with us again from the Morgan Stanley Veterans Network is Michelle Morrow. Hi, Michelle. This is some good stuff. Last week we started a discussion of college planning, which you pointed out doesn't necessarily mean paying for college. For our listeners who do want to at least help pay for it, what's their first step?
Well, Randy, you should decide what your goal is in supporting your child's education. If it's important for you to contribute to your child's college savings, then speak with a trusted financial advisor or use an online education planning tool to help you estimate what you'll need to put aside, depending on whether you want to cover in-state or out-of-state tuition at a public university or a private university.
I see. And last week we did talk about considering the benefits of public versus private, or even looking at a combination, say, starting out at a community college.
That's right. And once you've got a rough idea of what college may cost, you need to consult your budget and see where you need to make adjustments to ensure you have enough to save. Knowing how much you have to save every month in order to get to a certain goal will help you stay motivated and on track.
Yeah, especially with a big goal like college savings.
Exactly. This approach gives you a specific number, and that helps you stay focused and helps you make smarter decisions when you're spending your money.
So what about student loans? How should our listeners think about student loans as a way to finance their child's education?
That's an important question. You're correct that student loans are a way to finance a child's education. That means your child will be starting off on their own already in debt.
Yep.
And as we discussed in a prior segment, paying off debt is one of the first things you should prioritize once you have a budget, insurance, and an emergency fund. If you maximize scholarship opportunities that are available and are able to start saving early, you may be able to help reduce the need for student loans.
Yeah, if you don't have to have them, Don't get them. I'm sure our listeners would like to, as much as possible, to help their kids have as little debt as possible when they graduate. So let's go back to savings. What do you do with the money you're saving for college?
Well, there are several college savings plans that you can use to help your savings grow until your child needs them. So most states offer a 529 plan, which is a tax-advantaged college savings plan that you can use to invest funds that must be used for education expenses. And one thing to note is that anyone can contribute to a 529 plan, so be sure to ask your generous family members who may want to help contribute.
Sounds like a great gift idea for grandma, grandpa at birthdays and holidays.
Yes, great gift idea. And similar to 529 plans, some states offer prepaid tuition plans that allow you to lock in current tuition rates, but these plans often limit which institutions your child can attend. And college savings plan options differ by state. So the best thing to do, again, is to consult a financial professional to help you weigh your options and pick the right plan.
Well, college planning can be intimidating at times, so your advice to consult a professional is a great suggestion.
Well, and hopefully they've listened to each of the segments in this discussion on financial goals so they know when to tackle college, which, to recap, is after you've created a budget, protected yourself with insurance, built an emergency savings fund, paid off your debt, and put in place a plan to save for retirement.
Check, 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 check. I'm making the list right now. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. We'll be back here next week with a brand new episode of the Morgan Stanley Money Brief right here on the National Defense.
This radio program does not provide individually tailored advice. It has been prepared without regard to the individual financial circumstances and objectives of persons who receive it. The strategies discussed may not be suitable for all individuals. Morgan Stanley recommends that individuals independently evaluate particular strategies and encourages them to seek the advice of a financial advisor. The appropriateness of a particular strategy will depend on individual circumstances and objectives. The 529 Plan Program Disclosure contains more information on investment options, risk factors, fees and expenses, and potential tax consequences. Investors can obtain a 529 Plan Program Disclosure from their financial advisor and should read it carefully before investing. Before investing, consider whether tax or state benefits such as financial aid, scholarship funds, and protection from creditors are only available for information in your home state 529 college savings plan. Tax laws are complex and subject to change. This information is based upon current tax rules in effect at the time this was presented. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. With the active duty sweat protection of Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, you can focus on looking your best. From your dress blues to your ACUs. From 0500 to the next, Gillette's 48-hour sweat and odor protection has got your 6 all day long, keeping you fresh and ready for action. Gillette goes on clear and doesn't leave white marks, so you always pass inspection with flying colors. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, tough on sweat and as ready for action as you are.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Hello, Miranda.
Ford F-150's terrific. Now let's get specific.
Okay. The high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy F-150 has best-in-class towing.
For campers and boats, for homecoming floats.
And best-in-class torque.
F-150's packing what the competition is lacking.
Nicely done.
Enjoyed it a ton.
The Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Best-in-class claims with properly configured vehicles. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVWR based on Ford segmentation.
Hey, welcome back into the National Defense. It's Randy Miller and Jerry Newberry and the Home Depot Foundation. Jerry, you know, every time we have a discussion about it with someone or talk to somebody at the foundation, it's always something large. It's always something great for veterans, and it's always something large.
And there's no end to it. The list is so long,
right.
It just goes on forever.
Well, and Heather Prill is back with us. She's the Senior Manager, Strategic Partnerships and Programs for the Home Depot Foundation. Hey, Heather, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Randy and Jerry. How are you guys?
How's Atlanta?
You know what? It's actually getting a little bit warmer, so we're happy.
Yeah, you should be happy.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Everybody else in the world right now is kind of shivering. But there's a lot of stuff going on with the Home Depot Foundation once again, and let's talk about this a little bit. What you guys are doing for veterans right there in Atlanta.
Sure. So what do you want to? We have so much going on here.
I know, right? Let's talk about the aquarium, because I've been to that aquarium, and it is splendid. Isn't a good enough word.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. And just to back up 1 second, so you guys know this, but in case people aren't familiar with the Home Depot Foundation, we focus on housing for veteran and veteran-related causes, and we have committed $500 million by 2025 in this space. So we work with nonprofit partners all across the country on housing for veterans, trades training, and then in Atlanta, it's our hometown in our own backyard. So we do things a little bit differently at home. We focus definitely on the housing for veterans piece, but then we also have an opportunity to focus also a little bit more on quality of life in different ways in Atlanta. So one of that is our partnership with the Georgia Aquarium, and we've been doing this for a while. One of our founders, Bernie Marcus, actually helped bring the Georgia Aquarium to Atlanta. We have what we call the Veteran Immersion Program there. It's an opportunity for veterans to swim with and active military to swim with our gentle giants.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
They get in that huge tank at the aquarium, and it's really amazing. They have the opportunity to. It's really therapeutic for them. So they get that time to forget about everything and just be in the tank, swimming with the whale sharks and all the fish.
Yeah, let me say this, that you're not going to get me in that tank with those fish that can eat me.
They can just open their mouth and you're done.
Right, exactly.
And there's sharks.
I think that's a good idea for you.
If I recall, there's sharks in that tank.
They're safe sharks. It's all good.
They're the good sharks.
They're the whale sharks.
Those are the good sharks. Those are fine. Hey, we just had somebody on, Heather, that works with you guys a lot, Gary Sinise.
Yes, we're big fans of Gary Sinise.
Yeah, he just
and he's a big fan of the foundation.
Oh man, he is.
Yeah.
He really is. Talks a lot about you guys, and he's got a new book out, and so it's great to have him on. But you know, anymore, we're just surprised if somebody doesn't mention the Home Depot Foundation. You know, every guest that we have, we're like, hey, who's working with? Oh, it's the Home Depot Foundation.
Well, you know, some of the people, some of the organizations we've talked to that the foundation helps out is Habitat for Humanity.
Yep.
Talked to them several times.
Yep.
Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels, great story out of Austin.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was great.
And House Proud. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, the list is so long. It just goes on. And you've got this immersion program, which gives veterans an opportunity to experience nature, I suppose, and build their self-confidence. Is that part of the theory behind it?
Definitely. I mean, you've got a lot of folks who are going through programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury, and part of their therapy sometimes is to be able to come to Atlanta. And we have folks here through the Shepherd Center share program that get to do this on a regular basis, but we've got folks who come from all across the country to experience this. And it's really amazing because, again, they've gone through a lot of therapy and a lot of work that they're doing on themselves, and then they get to spend this time, like I said, just really forgetting all of their problems and realizing that everything around them is so much bigger. And not to say that this is going to be a fix-all or anything by any means. They're doing so much work on themselves with the programs and with themselves, but this is just an opportunity for us, again, to be able to give back to them and give them something enjoyable that's also therapeutic. Go ahead.
I was going to say, not only do you give them the opportunity to swim with some really big, scary mammals, but you also expand their horizons with the Atlanta Ballet. Talk to us about that.
Sure. So we have a program actually through the Atlanta Ballet, the Atlanta Opera, and the Woodruff Arts Center. We provide grants to those organizations to provide tickets for veterans and their families to be able to attend the ballet, the opera, and anything at the Woodruff Arts Center. So the Alliance Theater, the High Museum of Art, and the Atlanta Symphony. And it's amazing because we get testimonials back from veterans who have said that they have never been to the ballet or to the opera, and this program really opens up a new world for them, and it allows them the opportunity to go see these performances and to experience the arts. And well, it's free to them, but it's just such a great opportunity as well for them to be able to take their spouse or their children or a date. We have a couple of people. We've definitely improved the dating life of some veterans in Atlanta through this program.
I would believe that.
Yeah, well, you need to throw some of those free tickets this way. So,
there you go.
Have you ever been to the ballet?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Which one?
Yeah, actually,
which one?
When I was in Europe, I went to the ballet.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, you should come to Atlanta. Come to our ballet. It's pretty amazing.
I would love to.
I think you're thinking of ballet parking. That's a whole different deal. We're talking to Heather Prill here on the National Defense, Senior Manager of Strategic Partnerships and Programs for the Home Depot Foundation. What I think is great, though, Heather, about what you guys do, I mean, $500 million, first of all. You got $500 million. I mean, that's enough. You know, that's more than anybody else is doing. But you guys get into it just absolutely physically and with everything you do, and you jump in. And it sounds like everybody there loves doing that. We
definitely do. You know, one of the greatest things about our company is our values wheel that Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank created with this family. And a couple of the values are doing the right thing and taking care of our people and also giving back. And every single person in this company really takes that seriously, which is amazing to see. It's a very giving and servant leadership culture here.
Why is there like a big rush of veterans that are moving to Atlanta now? I mean, there should be.
Right? When you see all of this, definitely.
Yeah, really. Oh, that's really cool.
You know, it's interesting because when we started these programs, it did take us a while to get them built up because, you know, you've got to get the information out to the veteran community and make sure that they know that we're doing this for the right reason and that there aren't any strings attached to it. And it's just been incredible to watch this grow, and the organizations that we're working with have done such a great job of outreach and creating that trust and providing this opportunity to the veterans and to military. So we're really excited about it, and we're really proud of it.
You know, we've talked about it many times, but do us a favor and talk about Home Depot's huge commitment they've made in the past, the dollar amount, and also the amount of people Home Depot wanted to put to work.
Oh, with our trades training program, absolutely. And you know what? Today is actually the 1-year anniversary of our announcement.
Wow.
So
Has it been a year?
I don't know if you guys did that on purpose, but that's pretty impressive. So we announced last year that we are investing $50 million into trades training, and we are going to train 20,000 individuals over the next 10 years in the trades training, specifically in general carpentry, electrical, and plumbing. And so we are doing that currently. We're on 6 bases. We are on 6 military bases, and we are working with servicemen and women who are exiting the military. So we put them through a 12-week program through our nonprofit partner, Home Builders Institute. They go through a 12-week program. They get a certification when they're done. They get a pre-apprentice certificate. It's called pre-apprentice certificate training. So they have a certification when they're completed. They have their OSHA 10 training, and we help place them into jobs, and really more than jobs, we help place them into what's going to be a career for them.
After 12 weeks?
After 12 weeks. It's really incredible. And this comes at no cost to the service member. It's 12 weeks as they're transitioning, so they're still active duty, and their commanding officers let them come to this 12-week course. So it's all day for 12 weeks. And we
but
have,
still,
like I said, we've been doing this for a year.
It's a new career.
Yeah.
It is a new career. You know, I've talked to several folks going through our program, and last week I was actually on Fort Bragg, and we talked to 3 people who were infantry, and then one person who has been a medic during his career, and then another individual who has been in HR. And this is something that really interested them. They wanted to be able to have a good career when they left the service. They didn't necessarily want to do what they'd been doing during their service, and so this is completely different. They're learning a completely new skill, and they're setting themselves up for success and for a great career once they leave the military.
And, you know, recently there's been a lot of attention being paid to the trades versus college education.
Oh, yeah.
Because the light bulbs are finally going on over some people's heads and saying, hey, college isn't necessarily the best thing for everyone, and we do need skilled tradespeople. So the timing is
perfect.
Great.
Absolutely. And you know what? You hit the nail right on it, literally. Not everybody
Good one, Heather.
They don't have to use their GI Bill for this. So they can go through this 12-week training, and if they decide that they want to go into, they definitely want to go straight into a career, that's great. If they want to start a career and also go back to school, they haven't used a bit of their GI Bill. So they can continue their education once they leave the military.
And the trade can provide a foundation, possibly for further education. For example, the carpentry thing that provides a foundation, possibly for engineering or something like that.
Absolutely, and the other great thing is, you know, they're learning they've learned leadership skills throughout their whole career. So it sets them up as somebody who is probably more likely to get hired, or definitely more likely to go through an interview process, because they've got all the soft skills that a lot of people who haven't been in the military don't necessarily have, and they've got that leadership ability and the commitment. So it's definitely a win-win for them going through the program.
Well, and you look at it from the Home Depot Foundation point of view. Once they have these skills, you know, there's a little nudge that says, "Hey, we're going to build a house for a veteran over here. Why don't you?" Right.
But that's right.
You talk about, I mean, the commitment behind our veterans that the Home Depot Foundation is providing. I mean, it's nothing short of phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's great. It's wonderful.
It is.
Thank you. And we, like I said, you said $500 million. It's a lot of money, and it really is, but it's never enough. So the nonprofit partners that we work with, like you mentioned, Gary Sinise's Foundation and House Proud and Habitat, and so many of them, they are the ones out there doing the work every day. And I can't even begin to tell you how much we appreciate them and appreciate their partnership and the work that they do.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of companies that look up to Home Depot and what you guys are doing. And I know that because we talk to them every week here in the program. So, Heather, thanks again for what you guys are doing, and keep up the great work.
Thanks, Randy and Jerry. Have a great day.
You too. We'll be right back with the National Defense right after this word from Farmers Insurance. When you're dealing with life's ups and downs, it helps to know the ins and outs of insurance. Farmers Insurance has been sharing practical insurance knowledge for more than 89 years. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Gillette takes great pride in offering the right razor for every kind of face. Now you can get the right razor for your grooming needs when you need it with Gillette On Demand and have quality blades delivered right to your door. Subscribe to Gillette On Demand today and take $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout. Enjoy free shipping, hassle-free billing, and you can change or cancel anytime. Visit online at GilletteOnDemand.com and remember, get $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout.
How do you thank the millions of men and women who have fought so bravely for our country over the years? At the Home Depot, we think it takes more than words. We believe the best way to show gratitude is to do gratitude. The Home Depot Foundation is committed to veterans and their families, improving their homes and their lives. Since 2011, we've invested $160 million to veteran causes and impacted over 26,000 veteran homes. By 2020, we'll grow that investment to $250 million. From simple wheelchair ramps to complete home makeovers, transitional housing, community support, we consider it a duty and a privilege to serve senior, wounded, and homeless veterans the best ways we know how. After all they've given us, it's the least we could do. $250 million by 2020. Doing more for veterans. Doing gratitude. The Home Depot. More saving. More doing.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Call from Georgia. Chad, what's shaking in Macon?
I know they did it again, man.
Who are they and what did they do, man?
Ford F-150 engineers. I know that as usual they built the F-150 to kick butt and take names.
Like how the high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy F-150 thrashes the competition with best-in-class horsepower?
Not surprised.
How about best-in-class payload?
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Not to mention best-in-class towing and torque.
Tell me something I don't know, man.
A pound of houseflies has more protein than a pound of beef.
What? Okay.
So, Chad, how do you know so much about F-150 putting a beat down on the competition?
I drive the competition. Got a 10-year lease.
Kind of embarrassing, huh?
Maybe I shouldn't advertise that fact on a national talk radio show.
Good call. This is the Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Best-in-class claims with properly configured vehicles. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVWR based on Ford segmentation.
With the active-duty sweat protection of Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, you can focus on looking your best. From your dress blues to your ACUs. From 0500 to the next, Gillette's 48-hour sweat and odor protection has got your 6 all day long, keeping you fresh and ready for action. Gillette goes on clear and doesn't leave white marks, so you always pass inspection with flying colors. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, tough on sweat and as ready for action as you are.
By the end of the day at this USO stuffing party, volunteers will have sent over 10,000 USO care packages on their way to our troops around the world. Full of little things that make all the difference and carry an enormous message to our troops. Little things. We're all about the little things. We're the USO. So are you. The USO until everyone comes home. Visit us at USO.org.
Hey, welcome back to the National Defense. It's Randy Miller, and time now for a brand new Eye Insights with VSP Vision Care. Dr. Robert Meisel is back with us here. Dr. Meisel, it's getting to be that time, spring allergies and especially affecting your eyes. How bad is this allergy season?
Certainly all the spring rains will bring the growth of flowers and pollens and such. And again, depending on your part of the weather, a part of the country, the weather will dictate certainly how bad it's going to be. But in the spring, certainly there are many more patients who come into the office that have symptoms of allergy.
I was going to say, I bet you do see more patients in the spring because that's when people, when you talk about allergies, it's usually head related, right? I mean, eyes, nose, sinus problems, and your eyes.
Well, typically people treat their nasal problems and sometimes ignore the ocular problems. But even in the wintertime, there can be mold and mildew, which, again, can do the same thing as far as exacerbate a problem of allergy.
What do you tell people, Dr. Meisel? What advice do you have for people that are suffering from allergies just in general?
Well, I mean, there are a few tips that certainly one is to wear sunglasses when you're outside during the allergy season, just to block pollens and particles that are in the air getting into the eyes. Certainly it provides a barrier. Use the air conditioner when you're driving. Don't have the window down necessarily, or in your house, so that those pollens do not get into your environment. And one of the things that is overlooked is washing your hands, because you can certainly, when you rub your eyes, which is very common during that time, you can actually make it worse.
Yeah, and the other thing, Dr. Meisel, that I've just recently learned, you can get allergies at any stage of your life, right?
Well, it's interesting you said that, because just in the last year, I have had a little bit of an allergic problem that I've never had before.
Yeah.
I'm certainly past, I'm in the Medicare age range. So I was a little surprised, but sure enough, it can happen anytime.
So how else can allergies impact your eyes or your vision?
Well, typically people come in with itchy red eyes, so it's not very comfortable, and cosmetically, certainly it doesn't look good. Also, a clear, watery discharge makes your vision blurry if there's too many tears in your eyes. And it actually can create some dry eyes, because people who take antihistamines for their symptoms will dry out their eyes.
Yeah.
So it can affect both the comfort and the vision of your system.
Yeah. So once again, I mean, you got allergies and it affects your eyes. You need to get in and see somebody. Hey, Dr. Meisel, VSP Vision Care has a lot of exciting things for our particular audience. Can you talk about what you guys are doing?
We are a vision carrier participating in the Federal Dental and Vision Insurance Program, known as FedVIP. For those military families and retirees that enrolled in November, they now have access starting January 1st of this year to comprehensive vision coverage through FedVIP. If you missed the open season and are a newly eligible TRICARE member or are retiring at any point this year, you can review VSP plan options at choosevsp.com. And when you're ready to learn how to enroll, go to benefeds.com to learn about enrollment options.
A brand new Eye Insights coming up next week. Dr. Meisel, thank you so much. We'll be right back here on the National Defense and VSP Vision Care. Thank you so much for supporting the program and the veterans that we serve.
This portion of the National Defense is brought to you by Gorilla Glue, the makers of Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape has a tough, reinforced backing and is made with double-thick adhesive that grips to smooth, rough, and uneven surfaces. With a weather-resistant shell, Gorilla Tape can be used both indoors and out, which is perfect for applications in the field, including duck blinds, tree stands, and tent repairs. Gorilla Tape and Gorilla Glue for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Right now, rejuvenating your bathroom is a pleasure at the Home Depot. Starting with the powerful Waterpik Torrent Shower Head at a new lower price of just $19.98. With 9 spray settings, including a power pulse massage with up to twice the massage force of other spray heads. So treat your bath well, and it'll return the favor. Save on the Waterpik Torrent Shower Head, now during the Winter Kitchen and Bath event, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through March 24th, while supplies last.
With the active-duty sweat protection of Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, you can focus on looking your best, from your dress blues to your ACUs. From 0500 to the next, Gillette's 48-hour sweat and odor protection has got your 6 all day long, keeping you fresh and ready for action. Gillette goes on clear and doesn't leave white marks, so you always pass inspection with flying colors. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, tough on sweat and as ready for action as you are.